Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a episode of Grit Sports Media with the unofficial referees. I am one of the three amigos, Lauren Jones, in the building. Got my other two co-hosts with me. Go ahead and let the people know you're in the building.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Randy, aka the ignorant eclectic mad genius.
Just keep adding names to it, okay?
Yeah, we go.
No, that's what it was.
They gonna look like one of the Mexican names here in a second. put Iglesias at the end of that.
Iglesias.
Y'all see the name. Y'all see the name up there. So, yeah, Corey, we in the building. Let's get it.
So let's get to it, man. So the non-tampering date has arisen and in the NFL. So a lot of big names changing teams this year. Obviously, the biggest news of the day came just a little bit ago. Sources say TB12 is taking his talents to Tampa Bay. Uh, Said he's signing a they saying what the deal's gonna look like is a 2-year deal, $30 million a year with the player option for the second year is what they're saying right now. But none of the details can be released right now, because it's not officially we're not officially into players being able to sign yet, but they could start making deals. Uh, so was anybody surprised that he left? I guess would be the first question, and the second question would be, is did you expect him to go to Tampa Bay?
All right, I'll take the first step. Honestly, I did think that he was going to be leaving the Patriots. I did think that, but honestly, I did not think it was going to be to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I thought honestly that it was going to be the San Diego Chargers because I heard that his kids were enrolled in one of the San Diego schools for that next year or something like that. So yeah, that's what I was like. Oh, we know where he going. So San Diego, Phillip Rivers is gone. But yeah, we'll get to that later. Go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, we were hearing different grumblings. It's been it was basically been three places that you've heard: Los Angeles Chargers, the Oakland, Las
Las
Vegas
Vegas
Raiders,
Raiders.
and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So yeah, it's not so much of a surprise. You know, those were the destinations possible that kept getting talked about over and over again. I guess it kind of is a surprise because nobody actually thought he would go to Tampa Bay. Like what's in Tampa Bay?
You got two good receivers now.
No, I'm talking. Oh yeah, you got some
You
receivers
got
down there. I'm talking
a
about.
decent running back, a young running back. Offensive line needs to be changed definitely.
I'm talking about what's in Tampa Bay. That's what I'm talking about. The city of Tampa Bay.
The Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is going to be in Tampa Bay next year.
The Super Bowl. I'm talking about what's in Tampa Bay.
I'm just saying.
What's
that out.
in Tampa Bay? You know what I'm saying? The AFC Championship was in Kansas City this year. Football was there, but what else was around? What else was around there? You know what I'm saying? A little water park up the way, and maybe Taco Bell across the street. Yeah, I didn't expect them to actually choose Tampa Bay, but yeah, you can see there's a lot to work with. Tampa Bay had a very good team, a competitive team last year. What was their record? I think what they went about.
It was like even.
I think they went 8-8 or 7-9.
Yeah, something like that.
They were very they got a lot of they got some defensive weapons. You know, you got
they were top. They were a top 10 defense. Statistically, they were top 10 defense last year.
And think about that. And think about that. The top 10 defense, huh?
The Shaq Barrett, who they picked up from Denver, led the league in sacks last year.
Yes. Yep. Shaq Barrett. So yeah, they were 7-9. 7-9 last year. They had they got a good front. They had issues on the in the secondary. That's what plagued them.
yeah.
But it's hard to keep up. You know what I'm saying. Also, it's hard to keep up with receivers play after play when you're not getting that much rest on the sideline.
Yeah.
So that'll definitely you should see some change. I think Brady will be able to, Brady's gotten older. I think he's intelligent with the receivers that he has, Mike Evans and
Got
what's the
Chris
other?
Godwin. Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin. Yep, Chris Godwin. Is he a
Yeah,
junior? I
yeah,
think Chris Godwin
Yeah.
Jr.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Chris
I think he
yeah.
Godwin
is.
Jr.
He,
Yeah, I'm just being
he's a junior. Chris
just
Chris
being
Godwin
extra.
Jr.
Yeah, so yeah, man, they got some talent. Like I said, Jameis
Tight ends
Winston,
too.
huh?
Tight ends too. They got OJ Howard and
OJ Howard.
Cameron
Yep.
Brake.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yeah, so
they were
they got
explosive
some
offense.
studs.
They
Fantasy
were
would be nice.
they were explosive offense. Jameis Winston, with Jameis
Literally.
Winston at the helm, he led the NFL last year. But that was 30-30. It came at a price too. 30 touchdowns, 30
30. Yep.
interceptions. Um,
Yeah. Get
this
the
this
ESPN ought to do one on him with 30 for 30.
30 for 30. I know that'll be perfect. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting as the NFC South as a whole. NFC South as a whole, with Brady, you'll get to see Brady and Breeze. God forbid, with everything looking right now, we don't know if there'll even be an NFL season, but it's a high possibility. They got everything planned as it's going as everything's scheduled. So, man, you'll have Brady, Breeze, and Matt Ryan in the same division. You know what I'm saying? You'll get to see that. That'll definitely be interesting. Also, the inclusion of Teddy Bridgewater with Carolina's move. So this, man, it'll be interesting, man. We're gonna see what's up, man. And also, Tampa Bay's got those New Jerseys coming. Hopefully, they haven't been unveiled yet, but man, hopefully they go back to the good the creamsicle. Good cream. If they get a creamsicle joint, I'm copping me one. I'm grabbing me a jersey, man. If they get to go back to the creamsicles, and that'll look real good, especially Brady throwing in one. I might have to grab one. So we'll see where they go. Hopefully hopefully they do away with that red and pewter, man.
Are you about to say what I think you're gonna say?
Huh?
Oh, I thought Lauren was gonna say what I thought he was gonna say. I thought he was gonna be.
Nah. So now we got a quarterback carousel. Philip Rivers, he signed a 1-year deal, $25 million with the Indianapolis Colts. Marcus Mariota signed a deal with the Las Vegas Raiders, a 2-year deal. So you know what I'm saying, we're gonna have the Hawaiian Island sensation in Vegas now. Teddy Bridgewater, again, as we noted before, Teddy Bridgewater. He got signed a 3-year deal, $60 million guaranteed with Carolina. So I mean, we've got some movement. Drew Brees did finally re-sign with the Saints. They restructured his contract a little bit more team friendly, so they can go out and look at free agency, or at least have so they can have some money on the free agent market. Because they do have some glaring needs. It doesn't seem like it for a team that had the record that they have, but they do have some glaring needs offensively, believe it or not. So that's the quarterback carousel. Now,
need more receivers. Need somebody else to take some pressure. I mean, Michael Thomas, what he's doing is outstanding, especially being the primary receiver. But they got to take some pressure off of that. It gets too easy to key in on them. In on, you know what I'm saying, what they're trying to do in those key moments. Also, they need somebody to pound it in, you know what I'm saying, to complement Kamara.
Yeah. They need the thunder to the lightning. So that leaves on the outside, Jameis Winston and Cam Newton, of all people. Cam Newton will be looking for a new team, 9 years with Carolina. All-time passing leader, all-time touchdown leader, and all-time rushing yards leader for Carolina. So do we think? I mean, obviously the LA Chargers job is still available. They do have uh who do they have?
They have
Oh,
Keenan
Tyrod
Allen.
Taylor. They have Tyrod
That's right.
Taylor.
Yeah, they do.
So it'll be interesting to see where those two dominoes fall. I think if you ask me
Chicago's one.
personally, uh, we'll see what happens in Chicago. The story, the original story was Bridgewater was headed to Chicago, but they
Yep.
couldn't get the money details worked out, so he ended up in Carolina. So you do have Chicago as an option. You do have LA if they choose to go after a free agent quarterback. Of course, uh, they could bring in the Red Rifle if they wanted to, Andy
Mm-hmm.
Dalton, because word is he's on his way out. So if the dominoes fell, what do you think? I would say Cam in Chicago. Uh,
I said that last year. Yep.
I think Andy Dalton to New England at this point.
Ooh.
Uh, I don't know about Cam or Jameis. I'm sorry, I don't know about Jameis. Because the interesting thing about Jameis is if you can cut his interceptions in half,
Mm-hmm.
Jameis Winston is statistically, well, I guess you had to do more than interception because he fumbles a lot too. But we'll just say if you cut his turnovers in half, Jameis Winston is statistically a top five quarterback.
Yeah.
Statistically, he's a top five quarterback if you could get him to cut down on his turnovers. So he's an interesting guy. Without having a lot of knowledge about what he's like to coach.
Well, the
Uh,
same reason he throws touchdowns is the same reason he throws interceptions. It's basically 50-50 ball. You know what I'm saying? High risk,
High reward.
high reward
Yeah.
well,
type of
when
football.
you got
And
that receiving core, you're gonna do it sometime.
He
right,
gonna fling.
right.
Do you? I'd be interested to see if this eye surgery he had in the offseason helps him at all.
Mm.
So
Because he
eye
had
surgery. I mean, yeah,
He have
it
cataracts or
makes
something?
things blurry. It could mess
they
with your
nah
peripheral,
they
but
said it was dealing with his peripheral, which if you look at the majority of the interceptions he threw, they were where he didn't see that corner. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Things like that, or he didn't see that linebacker sitting there when he was trying to throw that short pass. So it'll be interesting. I'm not sure.
that makes
It'll help.
that makes sense, but there's only so much peripheral can cure. You know what I'm saying? You can't blame peripheral you can't blame it on peripheral vision when you're sitting at a 45-degree angle and you sitting up there throwing throwing rainbow, you know what I mean?
Now would be interesting. Now the thing that I also said was it kind of a symptomatic thing of being in the first year of a brand new offense? Not understanding his reads and things of that nature. With Bruce Arians coming over. I thought honestly that they would give him one more year. Uh, I thought that they would give him one more year, kind of a show and prove year before they got him out of there. But I mean, honestly, I think if you have an opportunity, kind of, I don't know if I feel like this personally, but I guess if you have an opportunity to go after Tom Brady, you're gonna kick
Take it.
everybody else to the curb, for the most part.
Oh,
So I mean, we'll see what happens over the next coming days. I'm gonna tell you who my favorite quarterback of all time is as far as getting the contracts.
who?
Chase Daniel.
Chase motherfucking Daniel. Yeah, you right.
Chase Daniel just signed with Detroit for 3 years, $10 million a year as a backup.
Oh, that
That
boy
dude then
good.
got
That
that
boy
dude then
good.
got he then got some friendly contracts everywhere he's went. Everywhere he's got some
Well,
friendly contracts.
the opportunity is gonna
Arise.
arise because
Yeah.
not to wish that on anybody, but Stafford's
Yeah,
gonna
Stafford got
miss
the
some games at
back
some
now.
point in the season. Yeah,
Well, he had the back issues. He had I don't even remember what it was. I think they said he was just having really bad spasms in his back continuously. So he didn't even play the last 8 games
No. Yeah, he
of
was
the
out.
season last year. But I look, Matt Stafford is he's had a good career, hasn't won any games, man, but he's a world class guy to me because of uh the just the man he is. His wife had a brain surgery,
Yep.
emergency brain surgery, and things of that nature, and just the way he handled that, on and off the field was amazing to me. What I'm saying, it's taking care of his family and making sure his wife was good in the midst of, being a starting quarterback. I'm sure it's not an easy job, so
Yeah.
shout out to him, what I'm saying, for that. We'll see what happens in the draft. Detroit, there's word Detroit might go after Tua,
Ooh.
to kind of looking at quarterback of the future type
Hmm.
of things, because Stafford is kind of, I think, towards the end of his rope. I almost honestly was hoping that he would actually go to another team this year, get a fresh start somewhere. I think he needs to get the hell out of Detroit at this point. He's had a solid career. I mean, he hasn't
I can't
won
disagree.
anything major, huh?
I can't disagree on that. Cause
Yeah, he hasn't done
honestly,
anything major.
you think about Megatron's career and how it ended. So it
Hmm.
ended quick and abrupt. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about the receivers for a minute, man. Obviously the big news was Hopkins going from Houston to Arizona
Oh, that surprised the mess out of me, boy.
for nothing. I
For
mean, he went
David
there
Johnson,
basically, huh?
for David Johnson, and a couple draft
Yeah.
picks.
Well, it wasn't a couple draft picks. I mean, it did. Now they did give up a couple draft picks, but they
Yeah.
also got one in return. So essentially, he got traded for David Johnson and a second round draft pick,
Wow.
because basically what Houston said is they knew that he was going to want to renegotiate his
Yeah.
contract,
Yeah.
and they weren't willing to renegotiate with him. And so yeah, that was shocking to me. I think with Arizona, obviously they got Larry Fitzgerald's replacement. Because
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that this is Larry's last year. They have a decent receiving core at this point with
Christian Kirk.
him obviously as the number one, Christian Kirk, uh, uh, Larry for a
Later. Yep.
year. So they will be dynamic offensively. It's
Kyler Murray gonna
still
love
yet
that.
to be seen. It's still yet to be seen defensively what's going to happen. The defense wasn't very good, but they do have a few draft picks, so we'll see if they can make good with those draft picks to kind of help bolster their defense some.
Uh,
We'll see what pans out with David Johnson. I mean, from Houston's perspective, it's not a terrible deal because he's not making a lot of money, and so they don't have to go out on the free agent market uh, and
right.
pay him a bunch and pay a bunch of money. 'Cause I think he's making if I recall, he's making about 8-9 million a year, which is not bad in the running back market. So
But the offensive
we'll
line is
see.
not that good though. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't trying to
No,
cut you off
they
like
went
that,
out.
but
No, they went out and got Laramie Tunsil, and their offensive line play actually improved. I mean, Carlos Hyde rushed for over 1,000 yards last
I
year.
mean
So
you right. But the loser in this whole thing is Deshaun Watson.
here's what I will say, because it does look like a loss and could potentially be a loss, and it depends on two things. Number one, it depends on the health of
Will
Will
Fuller
Fuller and Kenny Stills.
and
That's number
QQQT,
one.
whatever. Have you said that dude's name?
I don't nobody care about Kiki QT.
There you go. QQT. Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
but the other thing is this is a deep wide receiver class.
That is
So
true. Yeah.
they could draft a first or second round. They could draft a stud wide receiver and at least start the process.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one thing about Hopkins was that he didn't have blazing speed.
Yeah, that's true.
So but it'll be interesting to see what they look for because they already have, Kenny Stills and Will Fuller to stretch the field. So would I look for another possession type receiver? that can run routes, as well as Hopkins can, or would they look for like more of an all-purpose guy? It's yet to be seen, but I think that's one of the things you could say they could be optimistic about. I wouldn't have done it, I would have tried to negotiate, but with Amari Cooper getting 20 million a year over 5 years,
Ooh.
I mean, did you want to pay him?
Dak
Did you
Prescott got the franchise tag.
because
Setting that market high, man.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, absolutely. So
Yes, sir.
I don't know if there are
That's gonna
any.
bite Dallas. That move's gonna bite Dallas in the ass too.
Yeah, and I didn't look at the terms to really truly understand, you know, at what point the contract actually works for Dallas, whether that's 3 years or whether that's 4 years.
It's
I didn't.
Amari Cooper's
Well,
it says Amari Cooper intended to re-sign with the Dallas
no,
Cowboys
for five
for
years, but
five
I'm
years,
saying, but I'm
a
saying,
hundred
there's a
million.
point where dead money comes into play, and you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
release
yeah,
them
yeah, yeah,
without it
yeah.
really hitting your salary cap that hard. And of course, the salary cap went up $10 million
Mm-hmm.
this year too. So that gives Jarris Jones
Jerry Jones.
a little bit of wiggle room,
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
to do some things. I don't think there were any other major uh, receiver.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
oh, Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs to
We
the
got
Buffalo
we got to talk
Bills.
about we got to talk about Diggy.
So the Buffalo
Yeah,
Bills are Buffalo Bills traded Stephon Diggs for a first round draft pick, a fifth round draft pick, sixth round draft pick, a 2021 fourth round draft pick. And the Vikings received Stephon Diggs and a 2027 round draft pick. Yeah.
yeah.
So
See, this is for me. This move was be careful what you wish for, because he was a bit disgruntled in Minnesota. He didn't like not being considered the number one because of Adam Thielen. Uh, However, I'm not sure that Josh Allen is that good. I mean, his accuracy is still not there in the NFL. So yeah, it's gonna be cool to be the man. And Buffalo does have an outstanding defense, and they have some weapons. They have Cole Beasley. He's just to go back to a number three receiver, which is his rightful position.
mm-hmm.
John Brown, the speedster, on the outside.
Zay
So I,
Jones. You got
I'm
Zay.
gonna, I'm gonna
Can't
have to
forget about Zay
watch. I'm gonna have
Jones.
to watch this one. I'm just not sure that Josh Allen is the quarterback to really kind of make him stand out. I mean, Kirk Cousins is no stud, so to say, but he's not a scrub either. So
But he just got an extension on his. He got a 2 year extension.
yeah, I did see that. But it's a very very team friendly extension, so it doesn't do anything
Got you.
for them. Uh, so but I think those are only major. Now we did have some other wide receivers move around. Joshua Doxson went to New York,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean nothing notable.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing notable. So another one today that I saw was Byron Jones went from Dallas to Miami. He became the highest paid corner in the NFL. Uh, it's interesting, because Byron Jones started out as a safety. He got moved to
Mm-hmm.
corner, and he became what they consider to be. I'll put him in the same category as. Nah, I won't even do that. He's just similar type of corner in the way they play him as Richard Sherman or Joshua Norman, and so because he primarily plays one side of the field, he doesn't move
He's not
with
the
the top
traveler.
receiver. He just goes to he plays one side of the field. But the interesting part about him is he's just solid. Like, he's not outstanding. He's just solid. He doesn't get a ton of interceptions. He doesn't get actually a ton of pass breakups.
He's like
Honestly.
he's a Brent Grimes type player.
Great,
It,
great, great, great
it,
description.
yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, because I don't think that he was worth highest paid cornerback money. should he have been up there? Probably so.
Shit.
Just the way the market works. Yeah. You could have easily said top 5 and I would have been like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I can live with that. But the highest paid cornerback, I wasn't feeling that one. I
Xavier
wasn't
Rhodes is
feeling that
still
one.
Xavier Rhodes is on the is a free agent now too. So it's a
Yeah,
couple cornerbacks that are out there.
yeah. I know that Tyron Matthews actually trying to recruit him. I saw on Twitter that Tyron Matthews was trying to recruit him to the Chiefs.
Do what you do,
Uh,
honey badger. Do what you do.
so I think that would be, a decent move for the Chiefs, or we could
The light skin
I
coalition is
wouldn't
strong.
be so we'll see what happens. It depends on what kind of money he's asking for.
Yeah.
Uh I know the Chiefs lost Agba today to Miami as well.
Mm-hmm.
Miami's been extremely active so far. Cause they also picked up Jordan Howard
Yep.
from Philly. So that'll be interesting. Malcolm Jenkins got released by Philly today.
Yep.
Malcolm Jenkins got released, the heart and soul of that defense. So we'll see where he lands. Uh, uh, yeah, Malcolm got that branding. He ain't got no tattoo. He's branded. You see that brand on his arm?
Nuh-uh.
Look at his arm next time you catch him. He's
Okay.
He
got a
ain't got no
brand.
NFL. He ain't got no NFL tat on it, dude.
Nah, it's like I don't know what it is. It's some type of symbol of some sort, but it's a brand. It's not a tattoo.
Right, Roger Goodell.
uh,
That was a joke there.
and,
I'm gonna be cool.
and there were some notables. Some other notable. Jason Witten is going to the Las Vegas Raiders. That's a weird one.
Randall Cobb is going to
Houston.
Houston. Yeah, he's going to Houston.
Yes.
Also,
yes, from Dallas to Houston.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham is heading to. Hold on, damn, where'd it go?
Was it Chicago?
Yeah, I believe it was Chicago. Yeah, it's Chicago
Yeah,
Bears.
2-year deal. He needs to retire, but they don't have any tight ends to speak of. I mean, they've traded for tight ends, but they keep getting injured. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. It's a lot of older players that are on the market, and I think that's, the interesting thing in the NFL right now is those older guys aren't getting the respect, to get, that final contract, so to say. They're a lot of teams are trying to lowball them, and so we'll see. Because I
As they
know
should. As they should. You know what I'm saying?
Jason
Out with the
Jason
old.
Peters, yeah,
Out with the
Jason
old,
Peters.
in with the new. Get out of here, old niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Jordan
Yeah.
Howard.
In with the new.
Speaking, if you want to run,
Jordan Howard went to Miami, right?
Yeah, I was about to say you want to run with running backs real quick. Jordan Howard went to Miami, the Miami Dolphins. So let me see what the contract was. If it shows,
It
it
was 2
does
years,
not.
wasn't it?
2 years, yeah. It does not show the contract though. But hold on, let's see if I can find
But
it.
you have
They're not releasing a lot of terms right now because none of these deals have been finalized because they can't finalize them until Thursday.
What y'all think about the what y'all think about the NFL and the new
CBA?
new CBA deal?
I don't know. I mean, the players get more money across the board. So I mean that was the big kicker. I don't know I don't know what the percentages translate from to over into dollars because they got it was almost 1.5% increase.
Yeah. 48.5 now or something like that.
So, but from everything that the players have said is that's significant. That is extremely significant. So I mean, we'll see. I know a lot of the big name players were against it, but it was more beneficial to those making the league minimum and things of that nature. They get a little bit extra money, of course.
To be scrubs on the sideline.
Who knows if they're gonna get to play?
Said they won't. They're not securing benefits though, as far as what I'm saying, the back end of their career. And that's what I heard. It was some of the gripes about it. Said
big sticking point.
Yeah, it wasn't doing that. Point. And then one of the big selling points were they weren't you can't get suspended for testing
Marijuana.
positive for
Marijuana,
marijuana and
yeah.
stuff
Yeah,
like that. So
yes.
Staying
So
off
yeah,
the
you know,
weed.
and they shouldn't, but they shouldn't, of course, we shouldn't, all
so
that,
you know what
But
that means.
Josh Gordon,
Getting ready to get signed.
Yep.
Josh Gordon gonna be there. Probably, David Irvin might make a return.
Mm-hmm.
Who else, man? All them guys smoke weed. But while they at it, man, they love. While they at it, man, you go ahead, put cocaine, man. Put cocaine, steroids. Put the rest of it. Put the rest of it up in there, man. Like I
Mm-hmm.
told y'all, man.
Whoa.
I went to the Mavericks game. I went to the Mavericks game. Unfortunately, one with Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell there. But went to the Mavericks game and the damn hot dogs were damn near $10 a hot dog, man. So yeah, man, I want to see. I want to see the damn and it was terrible. It was, for some reason I got a bacon guacamole hot dog, and they were heavy on the guacamole. Why I did that, I don't know. But
Why'd you put that bacon in your life, dog? But
it was horrible. It was horrible, and I had
but
heartburn. I thought I was about to have a heart attack right there at the American Airlines. At the American Airlines Center Arena. I don't both the Heat and the Mavericks got American Airlines, but one is arena, one's a center. Who gives a damn?
Was
At
you
the
getting ready
Dallas
to have
Arena.
one because of the price of the hot dog or the taste of the hot dog? Was you getting one have one because of the price of the hot dog or the taste of the hot dog?
Yeah, it said the reason why I got one.
I said, was you getting ready to have a heart attack because of the price?
It might have been both. Yeah, it might have been a mixture of both. You know what I'm saying? Different things, different factors can facilitate the type of shit. So, yeah, man, I'm sitting probably questioning myself while I'm sitting there watching the game. But yeah, man, go ahead, put all that, man. I want to see, man. I want more bang for my buck, man. I want more bang for my buck.
All right, so getting back, let's jump into the franchise tags. The players that got franchise tagged. AJ Green got franchise tagged, which I kind of seen coming, but yeah, the one I did not see coming though was Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry got franchise tagged. And
why you ain't see that coming?
I didn't see it coming. I just thought that he had 2 solid years and that they were gonna, just give him his money. But obviously, they was like, go ahead. Your running backs are a dime a dozen.
That ain't what it is. What it come down to is that all the money that they've paid out to these stars that haven't panned out. I mean, when you look at Todd Gurley, he's on the
downslide.
NFL's equivalent of a minutes restriction. He's on the carriage restriction. You look at Zeke Elliott, he signed his deal and had a average year by his standards.
Mm-hmm.
So it's now the running back market is undervalued, but at the same time it's it's unbalanced too. When you got guys like Todd Gurley making $20 million, but you have guys like Austin Eckler, who almost caught 4,000 yards
and then ran for almost
getting 7 million. It's a very it's unbalanced. It's an unbalanced market, and so I actually wasn't surprised. I didn't think they were going to pay him, at least not yet. Now he could. If he does the same, if he does anything similar, he doesn't even have to do the same. But if he does something similar next year, if I were him, I would just test the market. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even, if they want you, they'll try to negotiate a deal with you. If not, just test the market. This year was a little different than 2 years ago, because 2 years ago he made a run towards the end of the season. And so this year was more of a show and prove.
Right.
And this year he literally, for the most part, carried the team. No shade to Tannehill, and shout out to Tannehill for his deal too. I don't want to leave him hanging, but he carried the team this year. But I think that it's just, like I said, the market is so out of whack for running backs right now that he's gonna have to do it for another year. Yeah. and actually hope that doesn't hurt his value, because if they give him as many carries as they gave him last year, then owners are gonna be like, man, he ran into the ground. He's not gonna be worth another. He's not gonna be worth a huge contract.
Yeah,
So he may want to be careful. I'm not saying do like Melvin Gordon, because Melvin Gordon, we'll see what type of contract he gets in free agency, but uh, he's not gonna get. I don't think he'll get more than 16 million. If he has another breakout year, I say next off season he'll get about 16, and that'll probably be the max. Where will it come from? Who knows? Uh, the salary cap will go up again, so
that's
maybe
true.
Tennessee will invest half their salary cap into his salary, but we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens. Because one of the things with Derrick Henry is, I'm not saying he's injury prone, but
But
he is prone to miss a few games with hamstring issues. So
yeah, cause
we'll have to monitor that.
yeah, cause he is a physical runner. He's a physical. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom.
Pounder,
Yeah.
pounder.
Yeah, what do they
Yeah.
call them in the NFL? Bowling balls or bowling pins or whatever the hell they call them.
Mhm.
Wrecking balls.
I'm,
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Wrecking balls.
I'm
Uh,
gonna tell you who that CBA also helps out
who?
big time.
Who?
Kareem Hunt. Now he'll still get suspended because his offense was before they came to this agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but it does help him.
Hmm. I never thought about that. You're right.
Yeah, he'll still get suspended, and I
Yeah.
think that he's likely to get a lighter sentence now that it has been approved. So where maybe he was going to get 8 to 10 games, it may be dropped to 4 to 6 now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but that helps him too. It's crazy to think that he's 2 years removed from being statistically a top five running back. That's really, really
Yeah,
hard
you're
to
right.
fathom that he's 2 years removed from being the top five running back statistically. Uh, and now he's likely to be on his third team because I don't think Cleveland will keep him this year.
No. All
Who
right.
Cleveland picked up? They picked up Case Keenum on a 2 year deal. 2 years, I think 10 million a year. Yeah, yeah, something like that. They picked up Case Keenum, I guess, to back up your boy Mayfield, Baker Mayfield. I guess he'll be his backup this year.
Yeah. All right. So before we're gonna end off on these running backs real quick. He's not a franchise tag, but he did get cut or released from the team. Devontae Freeman.
Get
He
him
was
out of
he
here.
was released.
Get him out of here.
So yeah, and
He
now
run, he
you said
run with his head too much.
yeah
He
yeah
or now he doesn't run with his head. He leads with his head too much. So that's where those concussions last year came into play. Man, you
mm-hmm.
dropped that head in. So I hope
Oh
that he
man, good
adjusts
God.
his running style. Otherwise, he may be good for another year. Then nobody will want him.
All right, now somebody else that got placed on a franchise tag is Chris Jones, man. Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Uh this
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say it didn't surprise me because they did the same thing with D Ford last year. And
Hmm.
then they end up trading D Ford. So it could be the same thing. I don't know,
Hmm.
but I see the same thing happening.
Yeah, this one is interesting because he had such an outstanding year last year, but he's also shown in the past 2 years, again, and those
Yeah.
injuries play in the contracts. I know this year he missed, I think, 4 games. This year before, I think he missed 8.
Damn.
So those injuries come into play when it's contract time. It's when those owners start to get stingy and be like, "Yeah, man, you great, but you got hurt."
Yeah.
Anytime there's a button there. But he's a smart guy. I actually met him just for a brief second when I was getting those autographs for my son. And he's a really cool dude. I think he's smart. I think he understands the nature of the business. I think if it was me, I would play on a franchise tag this year, and then ask for some money next year. Albeit hopefully he's healthy, has a healthy year.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, uh, or the Chiefs could shop him this year.
Which I think will happen.
You say it will
It
happen.
will happen.
I'm not sure they'll shop him only because they lost Agba. And I think, they're already slim on the defensive line as is, you know. So I'm not sure if they'll shop him now. If Agba wouldn't have left, yeah, maybe I'd be a little bit more in agreement with you. I'm still not saying it's
It's
not
done deal.
possible
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they had some solid guys on the as
Mm-hmm.
defensive tackles. They had Mike Pennell. Uh, they had about three solid defensive tackles. So I can't say that financially uh, it wouldn't behoove them to move on from him. Maybe they can get a draft pick or two out of the deal
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
in a trade. So financially, it would probably help the Chiefs, but I think he's one of those anchors to your defense. To me, he's better than Frank Clark. I wish that we hadn't given Frank Clark that money. You
I
know,
I agree with you,
that's
100%.
what's gonna that may what hurts Chris Jones's chance to get money that they already paying Frank Clark all that money. It's not worth it to me at this point. But we'll give him another year and see what happens.
All right, and also another player on the franchise tag, man, Dak Prescott, young Prescott. Did he deserve the franchise tag, or did he deserve all his money? Did he
Um,
show? I should say, did he show and prove himself enough this year to get all his money, or did he show and prove himself enough just to get the franchise tag? Boom.
I think anybody else would have paid him. I'll be honest with you.
Not
This
for what
this
he was denying the deals. They offered him about 33 million. He hasn't proved himself to be a top. You know what I'm saying? Like Skip and Shannon them say, a lot of the numbers he was getting, he's still a good quarterback, but a lot of them was cleanup, garbage time numbers.
You right.
They didn't
that
make the
was that
play.
was
They didn't make the playoffs. They've been inconsistent.
mhm.
Um, I, 33 million. I mean, that's a hell of a deal, especially when you're trying to. Jerry's trying not to, you know what I'm saying, trying to
Break the
trying to
bank.
Break
put
the
the
bank.
put the team
Yeah.
in a salary cap problem. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like Dak Prescott's the type that's gonna put the team on his back, and he's not that type of quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna work when he's got great pieces, great line. You know what I'm saying? Great pieces around him. So I don't think he's proven. I thought 33 million was outstanding, man.
Yeah,
They're asking for 40 million and all that. Come on, bro.
Let me get
it,
there.
it's
Let me
not
hold
a
a
it's
minute.
not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. Now they offered him 37
Yeah.
is what they offered him. That's what he turned down. The reason he's turning it down is because if you compare him to the counterparts that came in the league the same draft year, he has a better record. He has uh, just as many. I think he has more playoff appearances than
Yeah.
anybody else. So
Jared
he's
Goff
looking at
or the other
yeah,
dude,
he's looking
Carson
at
Wentz.
market value. But the other side to that is, they were first round draft picks and you were a fourth round draft pick or third round draft pick, one or two.
Yeah.
Then
And
on top of
so
that,
that matters.
they had they had less to work with than him. He's had a better team.
Mm,
Great offensive line, running back. Even though the running back was average last year, running back defense has been inconsistent, but they definitely have the pieces. You have guys like Van Der Esch, of course, Jones. They've had the
I don't
they've
know.
had the
I don't
I
I
can't
don't
say
know if
that.
I don't
I
know
can't
if I
agree.
agree with that 100%. I think he had better weapons than
Carson
Carson
Wentz.
Carson
Wentz,
Wentz,
yeah,
but I
but not
don't but
Jared
I
Goff.
don't believe he had better weapons than Jared
No.
Goff. I think you could probably put them on equal playing fields. If you look at 4 years, I'm talking about looking at 4 years worth of play, worth of players.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
put
I
him
can
and
give you that
Jared.
one.
I would say him and Jared Goff were about even. Uh, and then he probably has had more than Carson Wentz.
But
Not by not
but
by much. Maybe last year for sure.
only one of those guys went to the
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Yeah, went to the
Just
Super
Jared
Bowl
Goff.
and he beat Dak Prescott in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though they got smashed last year in Jerry World, but they've been to the Super Bowl. They
Yeah. That's true.
the 2 years before last year. Matter of fact, I think 3 years, but I can confirm the 2 years before last year. I mean, they were spectacular. Jared Goff, yeah, he definitely benefits from the talent around him. But I mean, like I said, he did an outstanding job. They believed in him. Definitely was a number one pick. You can say that much. You know, I've seen worse number one picks. So
Yeah, Jamarcus Russell.
yeah, worst of all.
All right, so let's go ahead and switch over to the association, man. Let's go ahead and switch to the NBA. So as everybody knows, the NBA has been shut down like we were for we weren't hit with the coronavirus, but the NBA has been shut down for the future, I guess, until further notice. Until further notice, I can't even speak.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Talking about a June restart at this point.
A June restart. Okay, well, it all started with Rudy Gobert being tested positive before the game, before the Utah and OKC game. Then we find out that Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell was tested positive. Now we find out that Kevin Durant and 6 other net players tested positive for the coronavirus. Well, what's your thoughts, man? Let's break it down. Corey, go ahead.
Everybody got it.
Kevin Durant news. I don't really view ESPN. I get a lot of my sources from news, anything. I go to the people, man, on YouTube or whatnot. They gonna give it to you raw. So last week it was reported that Kevin Durant had it already on Casino for Life's channel. So and we didn't know. He's got the sources. All we can do is take stuff at face value. But yeah, that was definitely circulating last week. So it just got confirmed today. Even heard rumor that Steph Curry had it, but declined, didn't want to put that information out in the public, left it where it was at, the flu. Like I said, that hasn't been confirmed or anything like that. That was alleged. He said Rudy
Gobert,
Donovan Mitchell. So yeah, the NBA did the right thing. You don't want it's a dangerous whether it's disease, chemical warfare, or whatnot, we say that's for the other show. But whether it's whatever it is, it's pandemic. It's pandemic, even though it's not deadly for the healthy person or whatnot. You could carry it around. Go visit your grandmother, auntie, whoever, your grandfather, and
don't go see your grandma.
No.
I'm saying you could go do that, and I'm saying you go do that, and it could be deadly for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying do it. Yeah, it'll be deadly for them. So NBA did the right thing. You know what I'm saying? It's no need. Sports is just a game. Appreciate that they're gonna lose money, but look. Shit, I don't even want to see. I don't even want to see. I think WWE. If you have seen WWE, I think that's proved that nobody wants to see an empty arena.
Nope.
The crowd is just as much as part of the arena as the game.
Yeah.
I think they need to keep those. Is it me? The crowd sounds dead a lot, but it could be the levels that they're using nowadays. It just doesn't have that same pop as when you watch the NBA on NBC. But yeah, crowd is everything. Crowd is everything. So nobody wants to see an empty arena game. Hopefully they can get everything back because me being the Lakers fan, haven't seen man. Lakers ain't been to the playoffs in 7 years, man. Ever since the Kobe Dwight Howard year when Kobe had the will the team will the team to the playoffs, and then popped his Achilles, and we ended up getting swept by San Antonio. Ain't sniffed the playoffs since, man. It's just been uh, bad year after bad year. So man, finally sitting in first place, man. And man, I was waiting on it, but like I said, man, you got to take the proper precautions, man. This is we don't know. We've heard all type of different things. Right now it's 30 days. They're looking at minimum 30 days right now, but it could it been talks that could last into June. There's been talks that this coronavirus itself could spread uh, 80% of the country have it by the end of the year. These are just talks, you know what I'm saying? Nothing's been confirmed. These are estimates, different, sources. So we'll just see where it goes. Hopefully they're able to get it together. Hopefully we can get some basketball back in our lives. You know what I'm saying? As much as, you know what I'm saying, the game has changed and it's, in my eyes, not as fun as it used to be because every team has the same damn every team has the same damn strategy now. You know what I'm saying? Drive, have a tall point guard, drive in and kick it out to the 3-point shooter. So everybody has the same identity. But other than that, I still love the game of basketball. I love the competitive nature of sports. Professional sports. I'm just shitting on sports right now. Professional sports is a total game, especially with Vegas involved.
All right,
man.
so
Hopefully they can get it all back, man. And yeah, that's tough, man. Especially KD, man. KD's had a tough year, but
yeah,
like Lawrence said, man, there's a lot of people that got it right now. Just symptoms haven't popped up, like a lot of different viruses and different stuff like that. So.
All right, so we're gonna
good move on the NBA's part.
We're gonna stay in the NBA now. With this, we're gonna jump in the conspiracy world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna toss out this conspiracy, and then you guys are gonna give me you guys' thoughts, your very first thoughts. So breaking news. This ain't breaking news, but just breaking news. Stephen A. Smith said or claims that Giannis Antetokounmpo will leave the Bucks if they don't make a move to the NBA Finals. Could you see that happening?
Conspiracy? Nah, I don't believe that one.
Anything's possible. Giannis gave his word. He said he wants to be in Milwaukee, but shit changes year by year. You know what I'm saying? People can, stuff can go sour with the head coach, owner, general manager, anything, and can piss people off. They can be like, "Hey, I'm out of here." I'd hope not. I don't. From the fan perspective, I hope that doesn't happen. I wonder. And then on top of it, I keep hearing this. It's sickening to hear, but you keep hearing those grumblings of him going to Golden State. I don't even want to fucking hear that. That's just disgusting. If they do that, that'll definitely drop the NBA ratings, the viewership ratings lower than what it already is. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that one.
Huh?
I don't know about that one. It's possible, but I don't know about that one.
What, dropping the ratings?
Yeah, I think
nobody wants to see that.
The ratings might go up. You never know.
Nobody wants to see. That's why the ratings are where they are now, because nobody wants to see. They want to see competitive. They want to see competitiveness. I thought it brought some interest back. Now there's a lot of different things that factor into it, but for the most part, the ratings have dropped. But what they did this year was best for the league, especially splitting up. You know what I'm saying? And the kind of the pairing that you have now. A few of these teams like Clippers got a little bit more than a pairing, you know what I'm saying? Because they got about 2 damn pairs on they team. You can switch their team all different ways. But yeah, all the super team, nobody wants to see that. It was terrible
LeBron.
that those. It was terrible those 3 to 4 years Kevin Durant was in Golden State. That was awful. That was awful. It was good for them. I'm pretty sure they may have had fun. I don't know, but that wasn't good from a viewer standpoint. You know what I'm saying?
Draymond did.
Every year.
Draymond did.
Right.
All right, so the second
one. Yeah, I don't want to see Antetokounmpo. You got that duo Curry and Thompson, Draymond Green. They've added. I think what's his name? Andrew Wiggins will be a better fit than the D'Angelo Russell. Then you've got some of the some of the guys, getting a lot of good reps this season. Getting what's that one guy? Number 7, Pascal, whatever his name.
Pascal.
Mhm.
Pascal.
Yeah, he'll be great coming off the bench. A few of those guys. So
All right.
Kevin Looney's still around. Antetokounmpo, stay where you at. Stay where you at. Chris Middleton need to wake the fuck up.
That's facts.
Chris Middleton needs to wake the fuck up.
That's facts.
If there's playoffs this year, come playoff time, wake up. Bledsoe. I like what Milwaukee's done though. Not make a lot of change. Ain't been no, just rolling with who they got. Got the best record in the league. But like you said, the past week you kind of see them kind of wobbling a little bit. So yeah.
All right.
But the East is, man.
The second breaking I got for you guys. All right. So breaking news: the New Jersey Nets are expected to make room for Anthony Davis. So give me you guys' thoughts on that, man. Do you guys think that AD will take his talents over to New Jersey with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant?
I don't want to. I mean, it's a possibility. Like anything's a possibility. He opted out of the, extension out of the contract this year, but I hope he stays in LA. If he does, he does. It's definitely not going to help the game of basketball, though. Like I said, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see the super team. It got so just. It's bad. Nobody wants to see the super team no more. It's these last 4 years that this is why everything broke up, because they knew that this shit wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? All the saturation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All in one different team. Philly had fucking all-star starting 5 last year, even though they didn't make it, but it was still, it's just like, man, spread out. We gotta have a competitive game. Gotta, get as much as, especially, it's just sad. Young kids didn't get a idea of, that competitive nature, especially that was in the 90s, early 2000s, that good competitive nature where, the talent was spread out. You just had great talent on each team. You know what I mean? You're just not getting that. Notable names, you know what I'm saying? Notable role players. You're not getting that no more. You know what I'm saying? You're getting these top-heavy teams. Nobody wants to see Anthony Davis with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. It's just sloppy. It looks like some shit a 6-year-old will make on
2K.
2K, you know what I'm saying, the NBA Live and stuff.
All right, so the final one I got for you guys: San Antonio and DeMar DeRozan are not seeing eye to eye on their contracts. So what team do you think that DeMar DeRozan would go to?
Just Spurs. He don't need to go to eat, man. That's a tough one right there. That's a tough one.
Give me a solid 2 teams. Solid 2 teams you can see him going to.
DeMarcus DeRozan. The Knicks.
Yeah.
He'll get the most money there.
He can go to the Knicks. Another team that he would fit well on. What?
He's gonna be the second guy.
You know what? Where you actually wouldn't be a terrible fit, honestly, is Milwaukee.
Ooh.
You might as well keep Middleton.
You think so?
Yeah, because they Rosen gonna freeze up playoff time also. He gonna disappear come playoff time. So you might as well roll with Middleton. You know what I'm saying? You just subbing out. You know what I'm saying? It's like you didn't even have to make a move. You know what I mean? Unless, yeah.
So where do you think that go, Corey? Or where do you think he could end up, Corey?
I don't know, man. Send him to Detroit, man. Send him to Detroit.
The Pistons
man, I think
you try and trade him for Blake Griffin.
You said for Blake Griffin, yeah. That's a whole that's a whole clusterfuck right there, man.
Yeah, DeRozan he's got a weird game. You know what I'm saying? He's got that mid range game,
On
you know,
lock
and
and key.
the NBA is more of a 3-point,
Inside.
dunking,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? So he doesn't really necessarily fit the mold. I mean, that's why Toronto sent him on his way,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you know. And so yeah, I don't know a lot of places that he would actually fit well, because he's a number two at best, maybe in some cases a number three. But you would have to put him on a team like the Knicks or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't put him I don't know that you could put him on a good team, honestly.
You don't want him to go back to the Raptors because you don't want to sacrifice the.
Not with Siakam doing what he
you got
doing.
Siakam,
Lowry,
Van Vliet, Norman,
yeah.
Norman Powell's playing outstanding.
Yeah.
So you don't want to take away shots and touches from them, especially with the chemistry that they've gained. You know what I'm saying? Playing with each other, winning the championship, and you see what they're doing even with Kawhi gone. Like they have a solid chemistry that's going. You don't want to fuck that up. So he's a tough one. You know what I'm saying? You start talking about DeRozan, man. He's probably best fit to be stay in San Antonio because you start talking about, man. You go up here to go to Sacramento.
Send him to Memphis. Send him to Memphis. Memphis actually wouldn't be a bad fit for him.
I can see that.
I kind of like that. I like that. It's not gonna bring no championship or anything like that, but I think there'd be some good. They'll be competitive.
Him and Morant could be a solid little tandem. Because Durant's not afraid to attack the rim, so that would he'd always have his kick out game with DeRozan, so that wouldn't be a bad place.
All right, and the final thing before we bounce out of here, man, we're gonna play team versus team. So pretty much five players against 5 players. NBA, y'all ready? Team A: Stephen Curry, Michael Jordan, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, Shaquille O'Neal.
That's that team won. It's over.
Team B: Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and the 5th one is Hakeem Olajuwon. Which team are you taking? Team A or Team B? If you're watching, go ahead. Team A or Team B?
So you said Team A was Steph Curry,
Michael Jordan, Kawhi
Leonard,
Kevin Durant, Shaquille O'Neal. Team B: Iverson, Kobe, LeBron, Giannis, and Hakeem Olajuwon.
Team A is more stout defensively, so I think that that'll be the deciding factor.
You think so?
Yeah,
I can see that.
Perimeter wise, yeah.
Kobe,
huh?
Kobe.
But outside of who else?
Hakeem.
Perimeter.
Who had the perimeter on?
Because you talking about Michael Jordan and Kawhi Leonard on the same team.
Yeah.
Are we talking about prime?
Yeah, I mean that's what you would.
You think?
That's what you would think. You know what I'm saying when they bringing up these guys.
You think prime Kawhi is better than prime LeBron?
I'm talking about as far as the fit for the team, though. Prime Kawhi will give LeBron some problems. As far as the fit from the team, he'll give him.
He did when he was younger in San Antonio.
They're great players. They're great players, but I'm talking about if you put them in a basketball game, what would be the difference? And I believe there's enough of a difference on Team A defensively to where they could.
You're right.
Although the dream gave Shaq that work though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That'll be their weakness is going inside, but they're not extremely I mean, Kevin Durant is long, even though they're lanky, they're long. Like I said, you still got to deal with getting past the perimeter. You know, Curry and Iverson are the
that's tit for tat right there.
tit for tat, and you know, Curry's actually more
He's a
deadly.
bet. Yeah, I was gonna say
Curry's more deadly. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people won't admit that, but Curry's more deadly than Allen Iverson.
Yeah, so, I agree with that.
Yeah, you talking about the greatest shooter in NBA history. So
yes.
I guess team A. Yeah, I guess team A. Yeah. By the slightest of margins, I would say team A.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah, man. Shaq. Oh man, that's just a cheat code right there. You know, Shaq in his prime here. You just here. Go ahead and take that. Boom. You know what I'm saying? But you know, with today's NBA rules, they not gonna let him live. You know, Shaq was too big. They started outlawing his, you know what I'm saying, his elbow and all that. You know, they made the NBA soft and all that. But nah, man, you know, there ain't nothing you can do with that. And then, you know, easy money sniper, man, KD. Come on, man.
Oh, you said KD?
Yeah, Kevin Durant.
Yeah. I thought you said KG.
Oh,
okay.
Oh well, now even if you put KG though up in there, KG was one of the top players in the league when
I don't disagree with that, but KD adds a completely different layer.
Yeah,
and I'm just being honest. It's just a completely different layer. You know what I'm saying? KG wasn't shooting no threes, and I don't know that he would have shot threes. You know what I'm saying?
He hit threes every now and then.
Yeah, every now and then, but KD would just rise up on you.
Yeah.
So okay, KD, team A.
Yeah, ain't nothing you can do about it.
Team A. Yep, I got you. My bad. That makes my decision easier.
All right, man. So this has been another episode of the Unofficial Referees, man, on Grit Sports Media. I'm not gonna give you guys the timeline when we'll be back, but we will be back. So yeah, with all that being said, man, to all the
hit that subscribe, hit the like, hit that damn like button. Those likes are what, you know what I'm saying, those likes are what help us, you know what I'm saying, if you want to see us grow. It's not about being liked or anything like that. Just use it like cash money if you want to help us grow. Use that as an investment. When you hit that like button, you hit that share button, it helps the algorithm, you know what I'm saying, helps fight, you know what I'm saying, against, you know, because we got a lot, you know, we don't know, but there's a possibility. We already know how social media works, YouTube, you know, all that you see right now with the coronavirus. YouTube, they're shutting down people's videos. They're taking down people's videos just for having coronavirus in the title. Facebook is banning, is blocking out news stories. You know what I'm saying, alternative media, because they want you to believe everything that comes from the mainstream stuff. So, you know, if you want to help us fight against the algorithm and different things like that, we need the engagement. We need the engagement. So
yeah, real quick, man. I just had this come across my phone. Bill de Blasio, for those of you that don't know, because I didn't know, he's the New York City mayor. He tweeted out to the Nets that the coronavirus test should not be for the wealthy, but for the sick. What the hell does that mean?
Not for the wealthy, but for the sick.
Yeah, what does that? Aren't you sick if you have it?
So the sick, so the wealthy don't get sick. That's just like
New York.
That's just like Biden. That's just Biden talking about poor kids are just as smart as white kids. Yeah.
Oh man, these politicians these days. My bad. I had to throw that in there.
All right. So man, with all that being said, this has been another episode. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, share, subscribe, and also, man, I want to give a solid shout out to a legend in the game, man, Vince Carter. We don't know if this is your last season, but shout out to you, man, a legend.
Just last season, we just don't know if he played his last game.
That is true. That is very true.
Yeah,
man. Peace.